Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's August 25th, 2024, giving you an update on the Wapiti fire. This is from Victoria Rosen. She took this on the 23rd when the fire really was getting pretty aggressive. And I think this was shot from the Little Redfish Lake, looking over at the large plume. So thanks, Toria, for sending that in. And if you're still enjoying this broadcast, we ask you to do a one-time donation, or even better, it'd be a monthly subscription to just help offset the time spent on all this. We're going to have a community meeting tonight in Stanley at 6 p.m. That is going to be broadcast, live streamed on the fire Facebook page. It's Wapiti Info, Fire Info. 2024. That's how you can search for it. All right, we got our infrared flyover last night. The fire did a great job of not moving yesterday, at least not too far. So now we can really see what's going on. It's about 68,000 acres, a little over that, and not too much red on the map, which is good. The yellow is showing scattered fire. The red is showing more intense flame. So I'm going to start in the northeast corner because a lot of people have been showing how they're nervous about how Stanley Lake looks. So let's take a look at it. This is looking north. So all the dispersed camping is over here. I'm actually going to flip this around so we're looking south. So this is how most of us enjoy the lake. Is over on the southern end. This is where the campground is. This is where the boat dock is over on the right, and all the dispersed camping is down here. So you can see the fire has crested over the ridgeline over to the east and is working its way down here towards the lake. All the campsites are pretty untouched at this far. It's also working its way down from Elk Mountain, so kind of surrounding on both sides. Hopefully they can keep up with that today, although their primary focus is structures. So let's get over to that, kind of look at what we have from the fire. So we have two drainages. I think this is the Crooked Creek drainage. It's still got to go up and over that, on its way to the neighborhood of Iron Creek. So that's kind of what we're most worried about on that front is Iron Creek. I don't know if this subdivision here along the highway has a name. Maybe you can leave me in the comments section what the name of that is. And there's also some homes that we'll look at here in a second over on the north side of the highway. All right, I'm going to flip this around, bring us back over to the southwest side near Hanging Valley. So you see the airstrip here. The fire did start working its way down here. I believe the summer homes are all in here. So that looks like scattered heat. Hopefully those structures made it through the night. It's continuing to work its way down here into Cow Creek. So they did do a flyover with a drone yesterday using infrared, and they're able to see the fire, probably this section here, brought it down to the bottom of the creek. They are going to use this creek as a line of defense to try to block it from continuing down south. If we keep working our way down south, you can see Lowman, the town of Lowman is down here. So we still have a little ways to go for the fire to make it down to Lowman. All right, so going to take us out of here. We had really great fire weather yesterday, to reduce fire, I should say. This is looking at Stanley. Current temperature is 29 up there. We got into the 50s yesterday with high humidity in the upper 40s during the peak hours, and it's almost raining at this point. It's 97, so that's pretty thick air for humidity. Banner Summit was hanging in the 70s for most of yesterday and into the 90s. So pretty cool that the fire weather is cooperating. For those of us that have been watching the fire throughout the day via satellite, These satellites only fly overhead 1 to 2 times a day, so we don't get this information updated, at a minute's notice. And that's what also Watch Duty uses to help chart the fire. So if you're using these apps, just know that it's going to take some time for these to be updated. This is updated currently just because of the infrared flyover, but throughout the day, if it's really thick smoke, the satellites don't really do a great job picking up all the heat sources. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty, pulling up the Forest Service maps that they're working with today. So we're up in Stanley again. Start out here and then I'll work my way around the fire counterclockwise. So here's the infrared of the current stage of the fire right here. You can see it's made its way down into, I don't know if this is pronounced Job Creek or Job Creek. I'm going with Job, Arrested Development. So they have a bunch of pumps set up around the RV park, I believe, with the draft site as well. So that's keeping that area cooled down. They're also going to be doing the same, installing pumps today and hose systems around this community here, around Crooked Creek. And then Iron Creek and Goat Creek, or Goat Falls, are going to be next. They're going to be putting in a mix of handlines, so that's using Pulowskis and shoveling the top few inches or so of forest duff down to the dirt, so it's less likely for the fire to spread around these homes. And then they'll be using some more heavy machinery, such as dozers, to put in these lines. So where you see the R, that's a road. They're going to use that as a defense and then probably put in a mix line here. The section chief yesterday was talking about putting in dozer lines around each one of these communities, even putting a dozer line up towards the top, the southern end of Goat Falls community, down to Highway 75. I don't see that on the map, but maybe that's going to be put in. So that's the dealio for here. There's no new evacuation notices, so everything that's been in place still remains the same. I think they're definitely going to worry about the houses over Stanley Lake area. Is my gut feeling, at least. There's all these black squares are structures. So as of now, it looks like there's only one that kind of was overrun. A lot of this was grass, so this burned real quick. And then when we got that high humidity yesterday, it dampened down quite a bit. All right. And let's move around the fire now. So moving down, it's moving into where bull trout fire was earlier this season. So there'll be a couple of different fire scars there, and then we'll work down our way down the highway down to Hanging Valley. So here's where those homes were that I was talking about before. So this did burn over, and I'll just kind of bring back Google. So that's where these homes are here in the yellow. So those have just scattered fire now. That's good. All the other heat is below it to the south. So it's moving its way down towards Cow Creek here. Warm Springs Creek. And then we can zoom out. Yeah, here is Loman down here. So they have some roads that they're going to use as defense for Loman. It looks like they haven't constructed any of that yet. They'll be removing any small timber and other things lying down on the ground to remove those fuels. So if the fire does make it down that far south, it won't be an issue. Okay. Here's just another map showing that southwest section. So I think this is a little bit, not quite sure the date when they put this. If this was after, I think this was after they flew over with the infrared. All right, just update on the evacuation area. Zone 1 is in the go. Zone 2, I believe, is in ready, and Zone 3 is in set. So get Zone 2. If I really recommend downloading the Code Red app. I've been getting live updates throughout the day, whether there's no changes or changes, so it's a really good resource to have. Okay, so that's update on the fire. I will do a separate one on fire weather. I'll actually just keep talking about fire weather here, though, for those of you still hanging on. So our flow is going, we have a area low pressure that's working our way over southern Idaho today. The winds are going to be out of the southwest, so that will continue to push the fire up north and possibly to the east. But then it shifts to southeast east winds, which will kind of help guard Stanley and Hanging Valley and Lowman. That should be pretty good. It's going to direct the fires away from us if they do pick up today. There is a chance of some precip happening, so that'll help. What I'm worried about is on Monday, the winds shift to the northwest, and that's not going to be good for Stanley. That'll help drive the fire directionally towards those communities. So Monday is kind of the day I worry about more. Today, I think it's going to be kind of a repeat of what we saw yesterday. Let's look at the HER forecast. So I think later today, yeah, we have some showers happening. It looks like kind of Galena Pass, and then they'll rotate from east to west today. So that's not really usual. It's kind of like wrapping around that area of low pressure. So we'll have some storms come over into the evening, and that'll help dampen conditions and make the fire not spread. Tomorrow that clears out, and the weather clears up, and the temperatures start to increase again. So in the mountains today will be in the mid 50s. Tomorrow's gonna be in the 60s, and yeah, picking up a couple tenths of an inch in that area tonight.